Hello everyone, my name is Rafael. I manage a community of practice on artificial intelligence with the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. And today I'm here to explain you a little bit about the ethics of AI. To start, in 2021, a total of 193 countries signed the UNESCO Guide on the Ethics of AI, which aims to provide a global human rights-based framework on the governance and responsible use of AI. This framework is not a manual, but is rather a compass on the organizations to adapt AI for the specific context. So these recommendations is based on four principles, four values. The first one is in terms of human rights and human dignity. So it's very important that AI must respect, protect, and promote the full spectrum of human rights, right? In terms of privacy, non-discrimination, and freedom of expression, and never treat people as just data points, right? So how to use AI considering the human rights effort. So the second point is AI must help for us to live in a peaceful, just, and interconnected societies. So AI must promote social cohesion, improve the access to justice, truth of information, and never feel violence, discrimination, or disinformation. The second value promoted by these guidelines is the importance of AI to promote living in peaceful, just, and interconnected societies. Of course, peace and justice are not abstract concepts, right? AI should be used to reduce tensions or could also be amplifying them depending on how we design and use it. As such, it is very important that we understand AI in a way to strengthen social cohesion, promote access to justice and truthful information, and of course never fuel violence, discrimination, or disinformation. The third value is about ensuring diversity and inclusiveness, right? Inclusion should be designed into the AI and not added later. This invites for us to think AI on how it must work for everyone across languages, gender, age, disabilities, and location. This requires, of course, a diverse data and inclusive design and testing in the process. Finally, the fourth value is related to environment and ecosystem flourishment. So AI, of course, should help the planet in terms of being used for climate adaptation and resource efficiency, while also minimizing their own environmental impact, considering the high energy consumption and e-waste. So for us, we must think, does this project or this use of AI is currently depleting the environment or does it protect it? Can we achieve the benefits with less energy or simpler methods? Now, in the application of these four values, the recommendations on how we actually apply in practical terms. The first principle is related to proportionality and do no harm. So we should always use AI, but only when it's necessary and in ways to avoid undue risks or harms. So for this, prefer to use AI in the least intrusive and effective way. Ask yourself, do I really need to use AI for this use case? Or what are the minimal risks to achieve my goal? If harms overweighs the risks, then might not deploy it. The second principle comes in terms of safety and security. So of course, the AI systems must be tested for reliability, having specific safeguards against misuse and also hardened against cyber attacks. So trustworthiness should be engineered into the AI systems as they are developed, planning for future module failures, logging incidents, and also practicing recovery. The third principle is related to the right to privacy and data protection. Now, AI models and its deployment should collect the least amount of data, right, for the narrowest purpose, with consent and authority to use this data, and protect throughout this life cycle, right? Privacy is control and dignity, and as such, we must adopt a privacy by design and data minimization by default. The next principle is concerned to multi-stakeholders and adaptive governance and collaboration. Now, for AI to be successful and inclusive, it must involve governments, industry, academia, civil society, affected communities, and also update the rules and technology in an agile way as things evolve. So as we widen the circle of the voices, we'll get better and fairer AI decisions, and thus we can also revisit the policies later on to adjust it as the technology evolves. The next principle is about responsibility and accountability. It's very critical that the humans remain responsible and answerable for the outcomes of AI. So for that, we must have clear roles on who's designing the tools, who is approving the processes, and who is monitoring it, and what sort of mechanisms are there if harm occurs. To say that the AI did it is never an answer, right? Because the AI is a tool created by humans, and as such, those are the ones responsible for it. The next principle is about transparency and explainability. It's very critical that when we use these AI systems, people should know when AI is used and also be able to get a plain language reason for the impact of the decisions, right? AI, as such, must be designed for understandability, not considering as a magic box in high-stakes context, but we must know why it makes the decisions and be able to explain the thought process about it, and things are very important for our lives. The next principle concerns human oversight and determination. It's very important that we always keep a human in the loop with authority to approve, override, or stop AI decisions, and not in allowing for fully autonomous high-stake decisions, right? So, as such, we need to formalize mechanisms on who is reviewing what and when, and train people to recognize certain automation biases that come with high-stakes use of AI. Next principle concerns sustainability. Uh, we must align AI with sustainable development goals, considering the social, economic, cultural, and environmental impacts of AI, both positive and negative. We must consider AI in its long-term application and go beyond just short-term efficiency gains and GDP growth. The next principle is on awareness and literacy. It is important that we build AI literacy for everyone involved in this, in terms of capabilities, understanding the risks and the limitations of the AI technology. We must empower people to use and question AI wisely, keeping in mind that knowledge is safety, and teaching verification habits and critical thinking is fundamental for good and sustainable AI usage. The next principle concerns fairness and non-discrimination. So we must actively prevent biases and discriminations in AI use, testing for outcomes for different groups, and correcting inequalities. Considering that computers are not automatically neutral, and AI is influenced by the data that is trained on and how it's used. And as such, it is important to monitor and ensure that AI has no biases in terms of gender, in terms of races, in terms of religion, and provide results that are fair and transparent for everyone.